Let's talk about therapy. If you've never been to therapy, I would highly recommend it. Therapy has changed my life so many times, whether it's been a personal issue, like with a family member, or even an issue with somebody like at work. A therapist can help you talk through almost any issue you have. Look, you might be dealing with a breakup, or it could even just be the state of the world. There are so many things in our lives that can cause anxiety and stress and even depression. And telehealth has made mental health care more convenient and accessible for millions of people. However, critical challenges like finding a good therapist, scheduling that appointment, the expensive out of pocket costs still keep a lot of people from getting the care they need. Rula is on a mission to make high quality mental health care from a licensed professional easy and affordable for everyone. Rula's got you covered. They take most major insurance plans, and the average copay is only $15 a session. You can now get the quality you need when you need it at a price you can afford. Rula also sticks with you throughout the journey, so they make sure you get the best therapy and that you make progress. And with Rula, every provider is carefully vetted and chosen for their expertise. So you'll always know that you're in the hands of quality providers who are dedicated to making real progress in your care. The first step on your journey to mental well-being is easy. Rula starts by asking you a few questions, and you guys know how much I love a questionnaire. They ask you a question about what's important to you, like what are you looking for? And then they give you a list of licensed in-network providers who match your preferences. You can schedule your preferred time and meet with your therapist as soon as the next day in some cases. Also, most online therapy platforms focus on connecting clients with licensed therapists, but they also fall short when it comes to help with medication management. And some of us really need that aspect. Rula has a wide range of licensed professionals, including psychiatrists, who will help you get the care you need, including medication. Rula is the place to go for your mental health care, even if you're not sure exactly what you need. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head on over to rula.com/pink shade to get started today. That's RULA.com/pink shade. And after you sign up, they'll say, "Where did you hear about us?" And please support our show and tell them we sent you. Again, that's rula.com, RULA.com/pink shade, and take the first step towards better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares. All right, everybody. That's our new intro. It's a little long. I could trim it down.
It's a little long. You could trim it down, but that's a bop.
I love that song. I literally went on love songs, indie rock. And that's my genre. And thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed the Cardigans.
That was a bop. Yeah.
I would encourage everyone to go and look at that video.
Do I remember the video?
I didn't. But the girl that's the singer has a little bit of a Kate Gosselin hairdo. It was that era, right? Where it's like fluffed up in the back and short in the front.
Yeah.
And also she's wearing like a business casual dress. Like she's just about to maybe go to step into a meeting.
Yeah. I think I'm having some memories. I mean, I'm having to go all the way back to high school.
Yeah.
Some memories of the video. But yeah, that's a forever bop right there.
It's really good. I hope they're getting lots of royalties. They won't be getting it off of this song because it's going on YouTube. And so Ingrid is going to kill me because she's going to be like,
oh boy,
Mary Payne, we can't. She said yesterday, she goes, because when we put these on the free feed like 2 months later or something, and then we have to take the song out. And then I'm like, well, sounds like a you problem.
Ooh,
doesn't sound like a Mary Payne problem.
The shade of it all.
The way you get away with it, the way you get away with using songs that you're not supposed to is you find a remix. If you find a remix, then it doesn't get flagged as original content.
Okay.
But ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that.
You're a busy lady.
At least I don't. Especially when I try to find a song exactly 1 hour before we're going to record.
Yeah, you were pressed for time in that situation right there. Yes.
You guys, these first 6 episodes, this is season 8, episode 1. These first 6 episodes are coming out on Valentine's Day. So Keisha and I are going to be Valentine themed for these first 6 episodes. I can't promise we'll
As
have
much
a
as we can. I
yeah,
can't
I
I
mean,
can't promise I can do 6. I might be able to do 3.
but you can rotate this one back in on 6. You know what I mean? You got to
You know,
rotate your
I'm not
looks.
going to rotate a look.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Get some shit off Amazon and return it. That's what I'm going to do. Allegedly.
So the 2 shirts so this one and another one that are from Amazon. Then I have another one. Maybe I can run to Target and find something real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to do some errands later today and I'm going to pick up a couple of other ones because the first one I put on was really cute, but you couldn't really
Hmm.
tell that it was heart themed. So Keisha made me
Yes.
change. Yeah.
So when we originally talked about this, I remember I sent you the text and I specifically said on the first episode, we should wear something Valentine's Day. Since
Yeah.
then, she did not send me the memo until right before we started recording that we're doing it for 6 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the first 6 are dropping today, February 14th. Yeah. But we're recording this over 2 weeks, guys. We're recording the first 6 over 2 weeks. And you've got till tomorrow to come up with a couple of more shirts. And you can rotate. You can rotate. Nobody will notice.
Yes,
I know you.
they will.
All right. Anyway, guys, this is look number 1. It will probably also be look number 3 and look number 6. It is a pink t-shirt with hearts on it, everybody. But let's get into it. Love is Blind, season 8, episode 1. I have a husband. Now, first initial thoughts, episode 1 of this new season. Mm-hmm. Give it to me. What are your initial thoughts?
There's a lot of salt with just a pinch of pepper in the cast. If you catch my drift.
Okay. Well, it is the Midwest, so I think.
And I thought about that. Yes. Yeah. They didn't. We have seen. This may sound ugly.
Okay. Well, that's.
But we have seen. Yeah, we have seen better looking cast. I will say that.
I'm okay.
They're very plain.
Well, yeah.
They're I from the Midwest.
They're not bringing out the lashes and the glam looks and stuff that we have seen. Yes, that's right.
And you know, I'm half a drag queen, so
I know.
That's my everyday look is the lashes, hair extensions, all of that. We got some liars. We got some liars.
It wouldn't be Love is Blind if we didn't have somebody that's lying about something.
And I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
After Tyler from last season, I don't believe a person is dead unless I see a death certificate. I don't believe you have a niece until your sister gets on and says, yes, this is my brother. These are the nieces. I don't believe it's nieces. I think it's nephews. Like, yeah. I need... Yeah. I just do, because last season, and you heard they're now getting a divorce, Tyler and Ashley.
Oh, yeah. Of course they are. Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, you a whole year too late. Like, we already screamed at you and told you should have done it.
Please respect our privacy during this time. I'm trying to see if these are my readers or not. If anybody's looking at the video, trying to see what I'm doing. Yeah.
And I've already spotted, like, some of the people that are gonna go to the vacation who get engaged. I've already spotted them out.
Okay, all right.
I've spotted out some people who make it to the wedding already.
Okay, all right. You got this from the teaser.
Yes, and I'm like, they need to do a better job at this. But
all right. Well, this is what I want to ask you about the teaser that they do at the beginning, right? So we open with the teaser, and have you identified the person who says the guy recognized my voice and he definitely knew what I looked like before?
No, but if I had to make a guess, I could probably guess who that is, because he's just kind of slimy anyway. So, yeah.
So it's interesting. He recognized my voice and knew what I looked like. So you're like, huh, does that mean they dated before? Or does that mean he dated a friend of yours or what?
Yeah. So that is interesting. Unlike the Nothing Burger that we just finished from Love during lockup, where it was supposed to be like this big thing.
Yeah.
So to me, that's going to be a pretty big thing, because it's so many questions, like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
What? So.
Because, they can talk on the phone at night when they go to the hotel room. Like, they could call their brother or whatever
And
I
say,
think
look
after
up this person.
you look up this person. Yeah, their name is Ashley. They went to this high school. They graduated 5 years ahead of me. What do they look like? Yeah.
That's exactly what I would do
Yeah.
if I were
Well,
in this situation.
right. Um, I don't I don't know if because we have heard in the past, like, yeah, like while I was in there, I called my friend and I was like, I'm head over heels for this girl. And the guy's like, he called me. So you're like, are they, but it seems like to me, if they were on the phone, the producer would have to be standing there to make sure they weren't giving anything away.
Yeah, I'm
So
actually surprised they have access to their phones.
to be allowed to
Yeah.
speak while it's going on.
Yeah, just because of this situation right here, you can have someone else look up this person. And there
Hmm.
you go. Because I'm a
So
cheater. I would most definitely would do that. I'm like,
yeah,
I need information.
it would be
Does this
hard for me
person
not
really?
to. Yeah.
Yeah, it would kill me. Yeah.
And then the other thing that we see on the teaser is the one guy, who I think is David that's saying it because when I was watching the teaser, I didn't know their names, who says,
Mhm.
so and so had sex with somebody within 48 hours and I haven't even had sex and I'm getting married. Was that David that said that?
Well, there. Okay, by now I do not know all these people's names.
I know, I know, I know,
It takes me at least a third episode
I know.
before I
Well,
start like really getting it.
I will show the people. This is our list of singles, guys. This is the list of people
A
on the
long
show.
list.
And if there's a little note here, it's because we've seen them and I've written my own handwritten note, like Daniel Short King. I mean, we had to write
Short
that.
King, yes.
Um,
Hmm.
all right, well, let's get started. So Nick and Vanessa come in and they're like, it's the biggest season ever. And by that, they have way more cast. Now, if we're
Right.
still going to go on the theory of only eight couples can go to Honduras, wherever they're going this year, then why would
Hmm.
they, you know what I mean?
Make
They
it
want to
bigger.
why do they want to make it bigger? They want to leave more people on the cutting room floor. Like, it makes no sense.
Well, maybe they're gonna make it so
Expand it
that there's more couples. Yeah.
because we already
Yes, we'll
know that
see.
like some people do hook up and get engaged and then they don't go on the vacation and we don't know if they get married or
Right.
not. Yeah.
Yes. And we didn't find
So
that out till like last season.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So Nick and Vanessa come in, biggest season ever. They talk to everyone and they're like, "Is love truly blind? The pods are open," and we're just like, "Why are you here?"
Hmm.
Woo!
That is
Everybody goes to
that
the
is so
pods.
our gig. That is so our gig.
It would be so easy. It would be
And I
so
think we would do
easy.
better at it too.
Yeah.
I really do.
I would be sitting down going, okay, girl, tell me about the worst date you've ever had. Tell me why you're
Yeah.
here. How are you going to feel
Yeah.
if this guy comes out and he's ugly? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd be like, you need a little bit more blush.
You could put on
You
mascara.
you
Yeah.
could let me help you fluff your hair a little bit. You got
Mhm.
this. We
Yeah.
would just be like so encouraging, like the big sisters of
Yeah.
the pods.
I think
Yeah.
so. So Daniel, who's already told us he's a short king, he meets
Hmm.
Taylor. Okay, here are my notes about Daniel. Daniel is a short
Okay.
king and he has a
Hmm.
blind sister.
Hmm.
And Taylor
I
is
don't believe it. I don't believe she's blind.
um Taylor is a colonoscopy nurse. Okay.
Yes.
So Daniel, the short king, meets Taylor. They
Hmm.
joke. She's like, "Oh my God, are you already down on your knee?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm already down on my knee." And they joke. They seem to have good chemistry. And he says he wants a family. And she says she does too. He tells
Hmm.
her he has a blind sister. And
Right.
he kind of wants to go through life like that, which is an interesting twist that in all these seasons, they've never had somebody who has a blind family member. That seems like such a natural tie-in.
I just feel like I need to see her eye exam before I believe that she's actually blind. I'm not playing with these people this year. I am not playing with them. They're not playing me for a pickle this season. I'm just not. I need proof of everything. Everything.
Okay.
I don't even believe he's 5'8". Like, I need to see him standing next to someone who's like 6'5", so I can say, okay, yeah, he really is 5'8".
Well, definitely every time he's near one of the other guys, I'm comparing to see how tall that guy is. So does Taylor to me looks a little short. She looks a little short. So I'm trying to figure out what girl is short. Because yeah, I don't know. Maybe people really don't care, but I would care. I would care. I would want a
If
guy
the guy was 5'8",
5'8", I'm okay with because I'm 5'5". I'm okay with 5'8". I dated a guy for a while that
Okay.
was 5'8". I'm okay with 5'8". I'm not okay with 5'5", 5'6". I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm being honest here. I like a guy to be a little bit taller than me.
I'm okay. I mean, if you 5'5", you got to be a little bit longer in other
Wow.
departments to make up for that height.
Wow.
That's all
Okay.
I'm gonna say. So, little
Mm-hmm. Okay.
girth, some girth too.
You didn't need to explain it. We got it. We got
Okay,
it.
yeah,
All right.
you got to make up for it.
They seem to have good chemistry. Now Taylor, the nurse, meets Brad, the dentist. Now, do you believe he's a dentist? You don't believe that either.
All I know is that if I had to pick a guy right then and there, it would be the dentist. I'm like, I need work done. I need a discount. Like, let's make this happen. Please help me out.
So then this other guy comes in, Ben. Okay, what's Ben's job? Ben is a developer. We don't know what that means.
Is that the guy with the beard?
I don't know. I don't know.
Remember.
And if I was really prepared, which I was not, I would have all the pictures to flash on this screen, but I'll have those by episode 2. Okay. I will.
Sounds good.
But I was doing this last night. It was like midnight. So, cause I love to wait till the very last minute. So she tells this guy, Ben, that she's a nurse and she works in GI. And specifically she helps with colonoscopies. And she's like, yeah, we could chat about colonoscopies. Like, how are your stools? You have change in your bowel movements. And she was like, one thing is you'll never forget me. And that's good.
That is true. Yeah, it is true.
So now we meet Brittany. Brittany is an account executive. And what her
Not Brittany.
You like Brittany?
Brittany.
Oh, sorry, Brittany.
Brittany. Yes.
Brittany is a partnership executive, is what it says here from Netflix. But she's an account executive. She's very cute. And she meets Devin. And she says, you could call me Brit or B Dot. He goes, all right. He said, my friends call me Dev or D Buck because, I can make the buckets. Brittany says, excuse me, I played and coached D1 basketball.
Yeah. I think she's got it. Yeah.
D Buck, take a seat. He goes, oh my God, that's really cool. He said, I coach high school varsity girls. And she's like, oh my God, that's amazing. He's 28. She's 34. They talk about that a little bit. And he's dated an older girl before. He says that when he was 20, he dated a girl that was 26. She's like, woo! That's the same difference. That's the same difference between you two, 28 and 34.
But it's, there's always that stretch where it makes it sound way like the gap is wider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once you get to a certain age, it's like, oh, it's not that bad. I think that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's 28. She's 34. And his goal is to have kids and be a great dad. And she goes, yeah. And he goes, what do you think about that? Because you're old and everything. And she goes, I want to have as many kids as my husband wants. I want to have a strong foundation first. So she's like, like a lot of these people smartly say, we can't just get married and start having kids. Like Taylor, not Taylor, Tyler and Ashley were like, we're going to start having kids right away. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
No. Especially because he's already got those two.
Yeah. And she better start thinking about how many kids she wants because she's dating a high school coach.
Right.
He don't have deep pockets.
No.
I'm just saying.
And she says, yeah, I want to have as many kids as my husband wants. We have to have a good foundation. And then talking head, he goes, I'm feeling really hopeful, about this whole experience. Right. Okay. He had a bad hairline, but he was cute.
Girl. And then something, looked, I don't know if it was the curl didn't quite curl in his hair correctly. I don't know if it's thinning or something, but I feel like I saw a little bit too much scalp.
Thinning.
That's what. Okay. I didn't know if I was tripping.
No.
And I just I'm seeing a lot of scalp here. Like
he needs to get on that Nutrafol right away, or one of those scalp things that shoot the lasers into your scalp that'll rejuvenate.
All he needs is a little bit of Blue Magic grease. Put it in there like we used to do when we were kids. Well, Black people did.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Grease in your hair. It's this thick grease. I think he needs to saturate his scalp with that for a few months, and I think he'll get some of that thickness that he so desperately needs back.
Is that what it does? It
'Cause,
just thickens your hair up, like from the follicles or
I mean,
whatever?
it is old school, yeah.
Okay.
Because he ain't got much hair to spare. Like, and he's only in his 20s.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. Good point. So now Devin meets Virginia. Okay, my note for Virginia is has a doctorate, danced in the
Mhm.
NBA,
Mhm.
ran a marathon, so she's an overachiever.
And she's really, you know what? She is an overachiever, but she seems really down to earth.
Now, the only thing I'll say about her is a couple of times when they showed her from the side or something, her eyes are always at half mast, like she's a little stoned. And that's okay.
Maybe she, that.
But
I mean, that's how I would be there in that situation.
her eyes don't open all the way. And that's okay. But she's
Hmm.
a very pretty,
She's very cute. I
very
agree.
pretty. So he meets Virginia and he tells her he's into fashion. He owns 100 pair of sneakers and he's a
Mhm.
foodie. And she goes, "Oh my God, I'm a foodie too." He goes, "Oh, cool. What's your favorite food?" And she goes, I like burritos."
I mean, I felt that. I really,
Yeah.
really do. I felt that. Yeah. And every burrito is not the same.
He
Like,
goes, "Yeah, I guess you could put a lot of different things in there." He's
you
probably like,
can.
he's like, "I like, caviar
Yeah.
on a Pringle
Tuna
and I like
tartar.
tuna
Yeah.
tartare." And she's like, "I'd take a burrito with some extra black beans." So,
I like her.
so this when she says she was born in Minnesota, she went to Park Center, and he says, "Me too." But they're
Hmm.
5 years apart. She's 5 years ahead of him. So
Yes.
this could be where he asked, his brother, can you think about anybody who went to Park Center in your grade named Virginia? You know?
Well, did you notice during the trailer anything?
Mm-mm.
Oh, never mind. Then I won't mention it again.
Well,
I
tell
won't
me.
mention
You
it.
have to tell me. Tell me. That's
Well, it's a spoiler, but
okay.
they
What
gave us the spoiler. Like, they get engaged. Like, I saw them in the pool together.
Devin and Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, but do you think it's her voice saying he knows what I looked like?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
either. I
think
don't think it's
so.
her
Because she
voice.
had like a tiny squeakiness to her voice. Like,
Oh,
that
okay.
wasn't her.
All right.
Mm-mm.
But if anybody, it could be this one because they went to the same exact high school and he could literally
Mm-hmm.
just ask his older brother. I don't even know if he
That's
has an older
true.
brother. But they're 5 years apart. And he says he's a program director for a youth sports company. And then on
Mm-hmm.
the side, he coaches basketball and he runs his own basketball training program. But let me tell you
Mm-hmm.
something about those basketball training programs. So
They cost.
they cost a lot. So like my
Yeah.
son was on like a AAU team and then he did training on the side. And it's like, $100 for 4 lessons or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll add up. It'll add
Yep.
up.
I'm
So
glad he's
he
got a side gig.
so he's got a couple of hustles there. He's a program director
Yeah.
for a youth sports company. And
Mm-hmm.
so that could mean he runs like his local AAU league
Yeah.
and he coaches basketball for a high school, which means he makes nothing. And
Yes.
he runs a training program. So he's got he's hustling. He's not sitting around, So that's
He
good.
he has to hustle to be able
Yeah,
to afford 100 pair of sneakers.
that's right. And you might need to look inward and see why you're spending your money on that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about the youth and basketball with him. And she says, "Oh, I have a doctorate in healthcare administration, and I used to be in private practice, and now I work in a hospital." He goes, "Oh, how's that?" And she says, "Oh, yeah, I like it better." She talks about doing her thesis on inequality and race in the healthcare system. She's trying to kind of
Mm-hmm.
give back.
Yeah.
And she also used to be a dancer for the NBA, which I think is a pretty good indicator that she's hot.
Well, she is.
And what I'm saying is, when you say that, he's like, "Okay, well, she's going to look good."
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, but you have her who has a certain figure, then you have someone like AD who
Uh,
had ass, titties, all
yeah.
that. So, but you're right. She has to be of a
Somewhat
certain size
and
and
attractive
a certain
to,
caliber of looks. Yeah.
and she's got to be a good dancer. Yeah.
And she's got to be a good dancer. That is
So,
important.
so in her talking head, she says, "I've dated the same type of guy over and over, and I want to not do that. I want to see if I could, get out of my comfort zone with that." And yeah, I don't know why people are always surprised that I'm 33. I don't know if I look young or whatever, and people are surprised I have a doctorate, but
Hmm.
I don't know. She goes, "I want to make a soul connection and connect through all the lifetimes." All right, you lost me. You lost
That
me with that.
was a lot. It's like she read a book about this, one of
Yeah.
those Eat,
Hmm.
Pray, Love books before she
Yeah.
got there. And that was something that she was like on page 25.
You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about therapy. If you've never been to therapy, I would highly recommend it. Therapy has changed my life so many times, whether it's been a personal issue, like with a family member, or even an issue with somebody like at work. A therapist can help you talk through almost any issue you have. Look, you might be dealing with a breakup, or it could even just be the state of the world. There are so many things in our lives that can cause anxiety and stress and even depression. And telehealth has made mental health care more convenient and accessible for millions of people. However, critical challenges like finding a good therapist, scheduling that appointment, the expensive out of pocket costs still keep a lot of people from getting the care they need. Rula is on a mission to make high quality mental health care from a licensed professional easy and affordable for everyone. Rula's got you covered. They take most major insurance plans, and the average copay is only $15 a session. You can now get the quality you need when you need it at a price you can afford. Rula also sticks with you throughout the journey, so they make sure you get the best therapy and that you make progress. And with Rula, every provider is carefully vetted and chosen for their expertise. So you'll always know that you're in the hands of quality providers who are dedicated to making real progress in your care. The first step on your journey to mental well-being is easy. Rula starts by asking you a few questions, and you guys know how much I love a questionnaire. They ask you a question about what's important to you, like what are you looking for? And then they give you a list of licensed in-network providers who match your preferences. You can schedule your preferred time and meet with your therapist as soon as the next day in some cases. Also, most online therapy platforms focus on connecting clients with licensed therapists, but they also fall short when it comes to help with medication management. And some of us really need that aspect. Rula has a wide range of licensed professionals, including psychiatrists, who will help you get the care you need, including medication. Rula is the place to go for your mental health care, even if you're not sure exactly what you need. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head on over to rula.com/pink shade to get started today. That's RULA.com/pink shade. And after you sign up, they'll say, "Where did you hear about us?" And please support our show and tell them we sent you. Again, that's rula.com, RULA.com/pink shade, and take the first step towards better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares. Today's podcast is sponsored by Roe. Do you want the fastest working GLP-1s for half the list price? Yes, Roe has got you. Roe is now offering FDA approved weight loss vials for half the list price of those auto injector pens without implying the insurance or the saving cards. Oh, that is such a nightmare, you guys. I've been doing the GLP ones for about 2 years, and I really wish I would have started with Roe because you don't have to deal with all those insurance cards, all that going to the doctor's office, all that stuff. It is so much easier. And if you're prescribed the GLP ones, you will lose 15% of your weight on average in a year. The formula from Eli Lilly hits not one, but two hormones to curb hunger and less nausea. That's super important too. If you're prone to nausea like I am, this putting the hormones in that curb the hunger and the nausea is key, in my opinion. Row is weight loss faster, confidence higher, and price cheaper, which to me is win win win. You can join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Row to access their GLP ones. So you can go to row.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. Go to row.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% weight loss is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or with overweight people with weight-related conditions on 5 milligrams of medication and when paired with diet and exercise. Half the list price when compared to auto-injector pens and when paying cash without applying insurance or saving cards. Go to row.co/pinkshade to see if you qualified. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. So now she meets with Joey. All right, let's see. Joey is the guy with the long hair. He's the physician associate. He says
Okay.
people say he's like a golden retriever. We found out later he likes to swing dance. He has a mom that he helps out,
Mm-hmm.
and has a sister that died. Keisha doesn't believe it, and he went to grad school.
Mm-mm. So on paper, everything sounds great, but in
Yeah.
reality, he's a total fucking cornball.
He reminds me of the guy from UK with the long hair that we decided was just independently wealthy. I can't remember
Finnegan,
his name. His name was
Bon
not Finnegan.
Voyage,
No, what do you,
Benadryl. Remember, I could
Benadryl.
never get it.
Yeah.
Benadryl.
Benaya.
Benihana. Okay,
Benaya.
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yes. Okay. So she meets, Virginia meets with Joey and says she just ran a marathon. He's like, wow, that's amazing. And then Joey tells us, everybody tells him he has golden retriever energy.
He does.
And he does. So then he meets Monica. Monica is in digital marketing.
My God.
What about her? What?
She was way too much
Monica?
for me. Yeah, this is the
Okay.
girl with the brown hair, right?
Yeah, brown hair that has family in Chile.
Yeah, she's a golden retriever too. So
Oh, okay.
she was way too much for me.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
she was.
I
Yeah.
wasn't looking close
Woo!
enough. I guess I didn't get that from her because I watched it twice.
Oh my gosh, I watched it twice too, and she got on my nerves both times that I watched. I was like, oh my gosh, this did not get any better for her. Like she was she was a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Joey now meets with Monica and he was like, she was like, oh, I'm so nervous. And he goes, what do you do to make yourself comfortable? And she goes, take a nap. He's like, oh my gosh. And they laugh. So they talk about music. She says she likes all music but country. And he agrees. And they laugh about that. He says he really loves dancing. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Wherever he is, he'll grab somebody on the floor, go swing dancing. She goes, oh my God, I love to swing dance too. I used to do a swing dance class every Wednesday. He's like, what?
What are the chances of that?
It's Love is Blind, baby. They put these people in here for a reason to see if they find each other.
You're right.
And she says her dad has a lot of family. And I thought you said Chile, but she said Chile. So I'm going to say Chile. Okay. And ask how close he is to his family. And he says, oh, I have a lot of extended family and I'm very close to them. Very close with my dad. We remodel properties together. And I'm also really close with my mom. And he's very close with his sisters. He talks to his sisters daily. He has 3 sisters. And he says, I say that, but I had a sister that passed away when I was 16. And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. He goes, but let's don't delve into that now. I think that's a good point. Like, you don't need to you just met this person and tell them everything about your sister that passed away. I think that was a good strategy not to get right into it.
Yeah, I mean, and the last time we had someone who had a sister who died, he was not a good guy.
No, he was not.
He was half dog. Woof, woof, woof. He just kept barking at us and
half dog.
Yeah, half dog. It was a dog in him.
God, it's so annoying. So he says, they both say, well, we love this date. Like, we don't want it to stop. We want to keep talking, blah, blah, blah. So in her talking head, she says she was dating a guy in college who was total marriage material. And he asked her to house sit for her cat while he went on spring break with his buddy. And then after that, he broke up with her and she never saw him again. Never knew what happened. Wow. Well,
yeah, because she's like how she is. He was probably like, she's too much.
And she says, so much has not worked out for me in my life. You know, dating is exhausting because you have to start over and over and over each time. Yeah. And I feel that. So now Monica meets Dave. So Dave, I have the same problem with my husband. His name is David. He introduces himself as David. Everybody calls him Dave. I'm going to call this guy Dave. Okay. His opening line is, what's wrong with you?
And he thought that was like the funniest shit ever. And it wasn't funny none of the 10 times that he said it.
No.
It just wasn't.
And he's got to know that they're going to show him saying the same opening line over and over and over.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to know.
Yeah, he totally practiced that. He's like, oh, I'm going to be the star of the show with this one.
What's going to be funny? What's wrong with you? So I immediately hate his smarmy vibe.
I agree.
We see him ask every girl, what's wrong with you? And then he tells the one girl, I can't remember which one, maybe it was Monica, that he's been an asshole to women in the past and he needs to come to terms with it. And that's why he's there. What an opener. I'm an asshole. Yeah.
I don't think that would. I think that's something you should just let them figure out, and I don't think it's going to take very long.
Because they
But
will figure it out.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will figure it out.
He explains he works in medical aesthetics. Now, he works in medical device sales. So he works in medical aesthetics. I'm
Hmm.
assuming he sells like facial lasers or like cool sculpting. He sells devices. So I bet he sells some big laser or something that
Hmm.
the medical offices use, and that's why he
Right.
sees so many BBLs and boob jobs and
Right.
lipo and all that. He said he's used to seeing like perfect bodies, and it's really affected him.
Hmm.
He says, it's always been about looks to me. It always has, and I don't know. Am I still that guy? I guess we'll see.
Yes, you are still
Yeah,
that
you are.
guy. You
You are.
most definitely are.
Yeah, for sure. So now he meets Lauren. And okay, let me see what I wrote down about Lauren. Okay, so Lauren was a teacher and now she does
Yes.
educational sales. She sells like um what'd
Social
she say?
studies
Social studies
curriculums.
books to schools. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
So curriculum. So his joke with Lauren is, okay, so you're 30. She goes, yeah. He goes, so you're no longer attractive.
Like, these are not landing the way that he wants them to land because he's
No.
not fucking funny. Like there's a way you can kind of make that funny, but she
Yeah.
thought he was serious when
She's
he
like,
said
what?
it.
She goes, is this the
Yeah.
first date I'm gonna walk out on? What's the deal? Um,
Yeah.
Then he jokes with her that he has an OnlyFans. Such a jokester. Now I realize when we later get to this that the reason he told people he had OnlyFans was he thought that was a good way to talk about sex.
And this season is the first time since I've started watching the show that I've heard sex talk like this in the pods.
Yeah, I don't
I
remember
can't
people having
recall.
this much sex talk in the pods.
Uh-uh. He's a hound dog and he is not there for love. He's there
Mm-mm.
for screen time.
Yeah. Mm. So he says, so why are you here? And she goes, I'm really close with my family. My work is going great. But this piece, the romantic partner piece, is just not there. I'm trying to finish the puzzle. He goes, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I'm kind of the same way. And then she explained she was formerly a teacher, but she couldn't make a livable wage. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. And he says he works in medical aesthetics. And he says,
Hmm.
I've been a shallow person in the past and it's just not worked for me. And I don't want to be that way anymore. And there's not
Hmm.
just one way to be a beautiful woman. Now, that's the right thing to say, but we don't believe you.
I don't think he meant it at all. And I got to tell you, every date that he went on, I was looking at the girl and saying, this is what he's going to say is wrong with
Yep.
her.
Me too.
Like, the first thing he would say about Lauren, he would say something about her nose. Like, he would make her
Totally.
feel insecure about her nose.
He would be
Monica,
like,
he would
I
make,
know a doctor who can fix
I
it.
know a
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this girl is so cute and
He
so
would
nice,
tear
and he
down.
definitely won't like her nose.
No, and I was thinking with Monica, he's going to say something about her jawline being too wide. Like, I was being critical of the girls through his eyes.
Yeah, me too. Because he
Yeah.
told us he's
Hmm.
shallow. Yeah.
And he's proving it.
And she says, I think attractiveness grows the more you know someone. Like at the longer you're with
Hmm.
them, the more you get more attracted to them. Or in other
Hmm.
cases, their personality can make you not attracted to them, which is a
Yeah.
great point. And he says, I really love your
For the right
voice.
person.
Right, right. He
Yeah.
said, I really love your voice. And he's like, oh, thanks. I think she tells us, not him, but she says her dad has a plaque in his office that says the greatest thing a father can do for his children is to love their mother. And that's sort of
Yeah.
her vibe. Now, I love that, but I don't think Dave's about that life. Mm-mm.
Oh, you know what? He would be perfect for Brittany from last season. Brittany, Brittany and
Yes.
Leo. I think they would be a match made in plastic surgery heaven.
You're so right. You're
Hmm.
so right.
Hmm.
So now we see a girl named Molly. Okay, Molly is the girl that has the eyebrows and the
Is that the
bangs.
redhead?
Never had a
The ginger.
boyfriend, Molly.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
She thinks she's funny too.
I'm not feeling Molly.
I'm not either. Not
I'm not.
one little bit. No, I think she thinks she's super fucking hot. And she kind of alluded to that a couple of times about her being hot.
Hmm.
I just, I don't think she's genuine. I just don't, I don't like her.
I
I don't
don't know.
like her,
But see,
Miriam.
again, guys, it's only the first episode. So by
That's
episode 6, we
true.
may love her. Yeah.
Yep.
So Molly meets Dave and he goes, "Why are you here?" And we've heard that, Dave, 14 times now. And she says she's never had a boyfriend, but she's dated a lot and, had situationships, but they can never get on the same page. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm kind of similar. Like, I've had a lot of girls I've dated, but no one I've ever introduced to my family." And so she asked him about his family, and he says, "Oh, I'm like typical white dude." And then he goes, "Oh, I shouldn't have said white." I think we figured out that
I
you're
think
white,
she
Dave.
figured it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She knew. She knew.
I don't think that was a
Mm-mm,
question.
no.
Um, and he says he grew up very Catholic. He went to Catholic school all through high school. And she says she too went to Catholic school. He says he had a great childhood. And he goes, "And yeah, my parents are not together because my mom's dead." What? My parents are no longer together because my mom died 6 years ago. That's not what that means, Dave.
No, it's not. And that is what you say when your parents are divorced.
Right.
My parents are no longer together. He's just an idiot. He
Um,
really is.
He says his mom had stage 4 breast cancer, but did
Mhm,
last 10 and a half years. So that was really lucky that they got those 10 and a half years with her. And she was
mhm.
hard on him about doing the right thing and having integrity. And he
That
hasn't
says a
always done
lot.
that. Hmm.
That says a lot right there. That I mean, he's been a little asshole since he was a toddler, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
If his mom is like, I mean, he's saying like your mom is hard on you for these things, and we are listening to you, and you did not listen to your mother. Clearly, you
No,
did not.
no.
Mm-mm.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Roe. Do you want the fastest working GLP-1s for half the list price? Yes, Roe has got you. Roe is now offering FDA approved weight loss vials for half the list price of those auto injector pens without implying the insurance or the saving cards. Oh, that is such a nightmare, you guys. I've been doing the GLP-1s for about 2 years, and I really wish I would have started with Roe because you don't have to deal with all those insurance cards, all that going to the doctor's office, all that stuff. It is so much easier. And if you're prescribed the GLP-1s, you will lose 15% of your weight on average in a year. The formula from Eli Lilly hits not one, but two hormones to curb hunger and less nausea. That's super important too. If you're prone to nausea like I am, this putting the hormones in that curb the hunger and the nausea is key, in my opinion. Row is weight loss faster, confidence higher, and price cheaper, which to me is win win win. You can join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Row to access their GLP ones. So you can go to row.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. Go to row.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% weight loss is based on a study in non diabetics with obesity or with overweight people with a weight related conditions on 5 milligrams of medication and when paired with diet and exercise. Half the list price when compared to auto injector pens and when paying cash without applying insurance or saving cards. Go to row.co/pinkshade to see if you qualified. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. All right, you guys know I have been on quite a journey with my sad little eyelashes. Okay. I need mascara in my life every single day to make me look decent. I've got to be on this camera. Sometimes I've just got to run to the grocery store. And if I don't put on my mascara, I look like I'm ill. And people are going to stop me and wonder if something's wrong with me. Now, you've probably seen Thrive Cosmetics viral tubing mascara. You know, it's the one in the turquoise tube that you see all over your socials. And I've seen it and I've always wanted to try it. Well, they sent me some. Oh my gosh, does it work? It is incredible, you guys. Their formula creates tubes around each eyelash. And then when you're trying to take it off, you literally just get it off with warm water. So you're washing your face, it just comes off. You don't have to add an extra step to try to wipe it off your eyes and then pull half your eyelashes out in the process. I mean, maybe that's just me. But Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free, which I love. They are made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high performance and trademark formulas, and uncompromising standards. You guys, you can see why their cosmetics get thousands of 5-star reviews, okay? You guys have got to try this liquid lash extensions mascara. This is my new obsession. I will post about it on my Instagram so you guys can see the before and after of my eyelashes. It is incredible. It lasts all day, no clumping, smudging, flaking, comes right off with warm water. It looks like you went and got fancy extensions, but you don't have to, and you don't have to spend that money. And it has a flake-free tubing formula. I don't even know what that means. It just looks great. So right now, you can go to Thrive Cosmetics. Thrive Cosmetics is luxury beauty that gives back. You can get 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/pinkshade. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/pinkshade for 20% off your first order. Try this mascara and send me a picture and show me what you look like. You're going to love it. And he says, I haven't always done that. And she goes, oh, okay. You still struggle with that? Like having integrity? And he goes, yeah, I'm not perfect, but I'm really trying to be intentional with my words. You like didn't answer the question.
Yeah.
He goes, oh my God, I have pictures on my phone of my parents dancing at their wedding and all that. And she goes, oh my God, me too.
I don't believe either one of them has that on their phone. I just don't. Like, of all the things to have on your phone, I don't buy that at all. I swear to God, they watched some rom-com movie and that's what one of the characters said. And they brought this to that is not true, Mary Payne. I don't believe that. Do you believe that?
I do. I do believe it. I have those pictures on my phone. I believe it.
Of your parents dancing at their wedding?
I have a picture of my parents at their wedding and like pictures of them when they were dating and stuff. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I have no pictures of my parents together like ever.
These are pictures that like I found and then I took a picture of it with my phone. You know what I mean? So I have it.
Right.
Mainly because my mom was such a bombshell. So I'm always like fascinated by these pictures of her.
Well, maybe I just have a cold, bitter heart. So maybe it is true. I just don't believe it's true. I really don't believe he has it on his phone.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that brought it up. And so, all right. And her talking head, she says, you know, my joke is people ask why I'm single. And I go, I don't know. It must be my personality. And she
was alluding to that people look at her.
Yes.
And based off how she looks, why doesn't she have a boyfriend?
You're right. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, she's really cute, but I can't figure out what it is. It's the bangs or it's the brows or it's both.
It's all of it.
She's very severe in her looks. Very severe.
Something seems like mannish.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she's very severe and hard in her angles and stuff. Yeah. And the bangs are very severe too.
Well, because they're cut weird and they're style weird. There's just something like I love a good bang.
Well, look at me too.
Her bangs are not banging.
I agree.
At all. Mm-mm.
So they all go into the men's and women's quarters and they chat. Everybody's chatting, blah, blah, blah. All right. Now we meet Alex. Alex is 28. He's super cute. He's a real estate broker. Alex tells us when he was younger, he was nerdy and weird. He had severe acne. He had braces, had like an afro. He wore a big purple sweater every day because he loved it. And one time in high school, he told a girl he had a crush on her and she laughed. And then all her friends laughed at him and he ate lunch in the bathroom.
Send me her name and number. Send it to me.
I love him and I need him to find a nice girl on this journey.
I do too.
Because he's cute and I like him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So in the talking head, he says, yeah, now that like I'm older and I do get attention from women, I mean, all of that's irrelevant, but I'm still that person. And I hope I can find somebody who loves me for my insides, you know, like for that little nerd that he was. Yeah.
He seems very genuine. He better not let us down.
Yeah, true. So Alex meets Madison. All right, what notes do I have about Madison? Madison is blonde, has tattoos, and has the druggy mom. Okay,
Lots of childhood trauma.
lots, lots. How
Hmm.
old is Madison? Madison's 28. Okay. Okay, let's see. Who did we just meet? Alex. Alex, I
Yeah.
didn't write down anything about him. Okay. So Alex meets Madison and he's very excited to talk to her. He says he grew up in Edina and she says she grew up in Indiana in the cornfields, like literally nothing. And she knew that
Okay.
life, wasn't for her.
Hmm.
One summer she went to Paris for college for the summer and she met some people who said, oh, we are in Jordan and we teach English. So the next summer she moved to Jordan for the summer in the Middle East to teach English. She learned Arabic during the day and she taught English at night. So this
That
girl
sounds so
is
dangerous to me.
smart,
Like
though.
you,
Smart.
yeah, but it sounds dangerous to me. You meet a couple and
True.
like,
But it was the next
yeah,
summer. It was the next summer. So she
I
had time to
know.
go home and research. It was like a legit program or whatever.
Yeah, because stranger danger was just screaming at me when she said that.
She
It
didn't get
really
on the
was.
train with them immediately and leave Paris. So that was
Yeah,
good.
that's yes.
He says he loves to travel also.
Hmm.
And, he's looking for someone who is kind and that people feel safe when they're around her. And she explains she had a rough childhood. Her parents never got married. They had her at 19. He goes, oh, wow. I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's not that shocking. When, like she said, 15.
Well,
Um,
it was because they were in rehab.
they met in rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Her mom has always had these drug and addiction issues. And then they met her stepdad when she was 2 and they got married. It sounds like she considered her stepdad her dad.
Her dad. Yeah.
Um, he died when she was in 8th grade. He died of an overdose.
Yeah.
And she talks to her mother, but it's rough because she's had to parent her mother. It's like Sophie on 90 Day had to parent her
Yeah.
mother who was an addict. And she says, but I love my mother and I try to have a lot of
Hmm.
compassion for her. And I'm really trying to break so many generational curses. And she thinks like her mom broke some, but not all, obviously.
Yeah.
She says she's very close with her brother and her sister. She wants to be a strong person for them. And he says, yeah, I had kind of a bad childhood. I was relentlessly bullied. It was brutal,
Yeah.
And then he says he had bad ADHD and failed out of high school. And his whole family was super disappointed in him. And they kicked him out of the house
That is so crazy to me.
because you had to drop out of high school because you're ADHD. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
Unless he's
he was
lying to
he was
us.
bullied in high school terribly. And then his own parents kick him out of the house.
Why didn't they just like let him do homeschooling?
There's a lot of questions there. A lot of
Uh-huh.
questions. Unless he got kicked out of the house because of something else.
Like I said, unless he's lying.
Um, his whole family, academia was very important to them.
Hmm.
So they were disappointed. And he just figured it out on his own. But looking back, he wouldn't change it. And because he's become this person that looks around in the room for people that aren't being included and tries to include everyone.
Hmm.
And she says when she was young, she got bullied for her looks. She was like, before I got braces and everything, and she wasn't cool. So because
Right.
of that, she gravitated toward the arts and being academic. And he was like, oh, I love it, a nerd. And she goes, and she worked in corporate America, but she doesn't do that anymore now. She's a painter and she's
Mhm.
able to like make a living being a painter. And he's like, you're
She
very
needs a rich
calm.
husband.
She would need a rich husband. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think she's here to meet a rich husband.
Um, yeah. And what is his deal? He's a commercial real estate broker. That's lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you're very calm. Like, I love your presence. And he's like, you're at the top of my list. And she goes, oh my gosh, me too. So blah, blah, blah. This is the first time we've heard them say, you're at the top of my list. We heard them alluded to it on the last season where it was like that person was at the top of my list or they were my top 3, whatever.
Yeah.
And now they're
Mm-hmm.
fully telling the other person, you're at the top of my list.
Yeah, like on day 1.
Immediately.
Yeah, which I thought, well, damn, like
You're not supposed to say
that's
that.
kind of quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, later on, we hear something about like, oh, it's only been 3 days. So I don't know if they're
That's
zipping
true.
through this. So Madison, the artist, meets Mason, the cinematographer. I liked
Mm-hmm.
Mason, the cinematographer. I liked him.
okay. He's okay.
I liked him.
I don't really like
He said,
anyone yet.
okay, all right. We just know
Yeah.
we don't like Dave
And Molly.
and
I don't
Molly
like.
Bugs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's like, oh, I was hoping I would get to talk to you. Now, I don't know if this means they met the day before or if it's
It
like
has to
that,
be.
or if that's the joke. Like, I was hoping I would get to talk to you, like I've never met you, that kind of thing.
I would hope that it's like the second date.
Yeah, yeah. So he says he was hoping I was talking to you. She goes, oh my God, me too. She explains, how she worked in corporate for 6 years, but now she's just doing her painting and shouldn't have to sell her soul to do it. So she was probably like graphic arts, and now she's able to support herself being a painter. He explains he got into cinematography through skateboarding. She's like, oh, skater
Mm-hmm.
boy. And so that's how he realized how much he loved, filming things. But now he gets to travel doing it. He makes commercials and documentaries. I was like, have
Okay.
you ever worked on 90 Day Fiance? So
Ooh.
he says his nieces they're like, do you have any nicknames? And she's like, oh, some of her friends call her Mads. And he says his nieces call him Uncle Macy. His nieces are 8 and 3. He loves to play with them. And she says she's close with her siblings. And she goes, I have a brother. She says it like he's alive, but he's not. She had a
Yeah.
brother named Brett. He was named after Brett Favre. He's like, all right, go Packers.
Yeah.
I guess. And she says, actually, she lost her brother, Brett, in a car accident in 2020. Her stepdad, who also has died, she didn't say that, passed his Brett Favre jersey onto the brother. And then when her brother died, she got it. So 2 people had to die for her to
Mm-hmm.
get the jersey. And they were just big fans, but they could never afford to go to an NFL game. So she took her
Mm-hmm.
siblings and they wore the jersey. It was a cool thing to do. And she says, I've lost a lot of people. It's hard to
Mm-hmm.
talk about, but you have to. And he said, yeah, I think, all this makes you stronger. And she goes, yeah, but actually, I hate having to always be resilient and strong. It sounds like she's the
Yes.
older sister and everybody looks to her
Yes.
and is like, mom's fucked up. The real dad's not
Yeah.
around. Stepdad dies.
Yeah.
Brother
Yeah.
dies. And she's the older sister and she's always having to be the strong one.
And she's older by a bit because her sister is 12.
Yeah. And her other brother was like 10 years younger than her.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So she says, I love my mom, but I can't go to her to talk about things, and my dad is like super distant. And, in a partner, what I'm looking for is somebody who's really close to their family. Because, she's like, I need a family. I don't have anybody,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I'm really close with my mom and my dad and my sister. And he goes, you could definitely benefit from a support system. She goes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, totally. And he goes, I love to be that, shoulder to cry on for the partner. And they both love the conversation. And she was like, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. Hope the rest of your dates aren't as good as this one. Bye.
Right.
Yeah.
All
right.
She's really cute.
I like her.
Mm-hmm.
I like her. She's got the butterfly tattoo right here. I like her. Painter, like her. Now, Mason meets Meg. Now, Meg is an oncology nurse. A note about Meg is she's blonde, she's a bit chaotic, and she's a hippie.
Girl, she did the most.
Okay, so you're talking about Monica that bugged you. Meg was the one that irked me. I was like, oh my God, calm down. Relax.
She needed half an edible because
totally.
And she just jumped from subject to subject to it was a lot. Like,
it was chaotic.
That may be her last date with him because her hair was all wild and she just couldn't simmer down. And
yes. And were you looking at her feet? Were you looking at her feet? Because I was looking at her feet.
No, what was wrong with her feet? What was wrong with her feet?
She was sitting on the side of the couch and said the soles of her feet were out. She had talked about her spray tan. So I feel like she had some spray tan on her feet. And then she was like moving her toes like they were fingers. It was very weird. It bothered me.
That is funny.
This is my note. Keisha, are you staring at the bottom of her feet? Because I was.
I did not notice the bottom of her feet. How could I? There was so much going on. I was just like.
I felt like I took a picture of it. Let me see. Because I was like, ooh, am I going to use that for my photo for this episode? With her feet. Oh, no. Here's the photo I've decided to use.
What is that? Is that
it's
Molly?
It's Molly. Yeah, Molly just really feeling herself.
Yeah, she thinks she's like a smoke show.
Yeah. And she could be, by the way. I think she could be if she had better hair. I do. I think if her hair was
Something.
parted in the middle and long and straight and red like that, I think she would be like, whoa.
Maybe, but her personality is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right. So Mason meets Meg. She's an oncology nurse. And she's like, oh my God, my dress is the color of the wall. It's orange. Like earlier in the room, we were playing I Spy, and I was like, I spy something orange. Oh my God, it's Meg Spray Tan. Hey, how are you? Like,
I
wow.
bet all the girls in the pod are always super happy when she's on a date because she's not in there with them. Because
He
boy,
says her voice is gorgeous. She's like, oh my God. And she goes, well, I have a flight attendant voice. It's really sexy. And my friends are like, oh my God, stop with your flight attendant voice. Um, so they both talk about how having a sense of humor is important. Like you want to come home from
hmm
work and have somebody to laugh with. And she goes, yeah, I just totally love to be a weirdo with someone. Oh my God, do you want to talk about alien recovery sites?
yeah, that was like totally random.
Now I need to know about alien recovery sites. TikTok, are you listening? Will you show me that in my algorithm? Like what? What?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, oh, you know about this? And he named some
Yeah, he
person.
totally knew.
And then she goes, I don't smoke, but I have high thoughts. And this one time I listened to a
That
Joe
is
Rogan
so funny.
podcast, and he talked about how people pour material into an ant tunnel. And he says, like, they're so intricate underground. And at the same podcast, this guy was saying there are different powers. And once you reach a certain energy, you can control the weather. And then I was like, what if the weather is just like an experiment that these supernatural beings are doing to us, just like we do with the ants? Like, we don't know anything. We don't know shit.
And after hearing
Girl.
that rant, we still don't know anything because what the fuck?
Also, you listen to Joe Rogan, so you're off my list as a normal person. Okay?
Well, and then Joe Rogan is always exceptionally fucking high when he's recording. He's always high. Like when he used to do Fear Factor, he said that he could barely make it through an episode because he got so fucking high before each like filming of the show. Like, yeah. Like who the fuck knows what?
I don't fuck with Joe Rogan. I'm sorry.
Oh, I
I
didn't know
don't.
that.
Oh no, no,
Okay.
no. Mm-mm.
Oh,
He
I
is
didn't know.
way, 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 way too conspiracy theory
Uh-huh.
QAnon for me.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. So when
Noted.
she said she'd listen to Joe Rogan, I was like, no, girl, off my list.
Let me cancel that Joe Rogan t-shirt I was about to mail to you right now.
I don't
Canceled.
care. I don't care if he's the number one podcaster in the world. I don't care. Today's podcast is sponsored by Roe. Do you want the fastest working GLP-1s for half the list price? Yes, Roe has got you. Roe is now offering FDA approved weight loss vials for half the list price of those auto injector pens without implying the insurance or the saving cards. Oh, that is such a nightmare, you guys. I've been doing the GLP ones for about 2 years, and I really wish I would have started with Roe because you don't have to deal with all those insurance cards, all that going to the doctor's office, all that stuff. It is so much easier. And if you're prescribed the GLP ones, you will lose 15% of your weight on average in a year. The formula from Eli Lilly hits not one, but two hormones to curb hunger and less nausea. That's super important too. If you're prone to nausea like I am, this putting the hormones in that curb the hunger and the nausea is key, in my opinion. Row is weight loss faster, confidence higher, and price cheaper, which to me is win win win. You can join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Row to access their GLP ones. So you can go to row.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. Go to row.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% weight loss is based on a study in non diabetics with obesity or with overweight people with a weight related conditions on 5 milligrams of medication and when paired with diet and exercise. Half the list price when compared to auto injector pens and when paying cash without applying insurance or saving cards. Go to row.co/pinkshade to see if you qualified. That's ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. All right, you guys know I have been on quite a journey with my sad little eyelashes. Okay. I need mascara in my life every single day to make me look decent. I've got to be on this camera. Sometimes I've just got to run to the grocery store. And if I don't put on my mascara, I look like I'm ill. And people are going to stop me and wonder if something's wrong with me. Now, you've probably seen Thrive Cosmetics Viral Tubing Mascara. You know, it's the one in the turquoise tube that you see all over your socials. And I've seen it and I've always wanted to try it. Well, they sent me some. Oh my gosh, does it work? It is incredible, you guys. Their formula creates tubes around each eyelash. And then when you're trying to take it off, you literally just get it off with warm water. So you're washing your face, it just comes off. You don't have to add an extra step to try to wipe it off your eyes and then pull half your eyelashes out in the process. I mean, maybe that's just me. But Thrive Cosmetics beauty products are certified 100% vegan and cruelty free, which I love. They are made with clean, skin loving ingredients, high performance and trademarked formulas, and uncompromising standards. You guys, you can see why their cosmetics get thousands of 5-star reviews. Okay. You guys have got to try this liquid lash extensions mascara. This is my new obsession. I will post about it on my Instagram so you guys can see the before and after of my eyelashes. It is incredible. It lasts all day, no clumping, smudging, flaking, comes right off with warm water. It looks like you went and got fancy extensions, but you don't have to, and you don't have to spend that money. And it has a flake-free tubing formula. I don't even know what that means. It just looks great. So right now, you can go to Thrive Cosmetics. Thrive Cosmetics is luxury beauty that gives back. You can get 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/pinkshade. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/pinkshade for 20% off your first order. Try this mascara and send me a picture and show me what you look like. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then she was like, yeah, like the pyramids. Wow. And then like ghosts, like there's ghosts. Yeah. And then she goes, are you religious? And he goes, no. And she goes, yeah, I'm really sad because I'm not religious either, but my parents are like super Christian. And so like, they think I'm going to hell. And that makes me really sad that they think that.
Like,
Um, calm,
interesting.
she needs to calm down. And then she says, God, I was really hoping to meet somebody who really just gets me. It gets me like how weird I am because I'm super quirky. Ugh.
Do you think she's putting on a little bit, or do you think this is really her?
No, I think this is really her. And
Well,
I
that's
think that
scary.
I don't know. She's an oncology nurse. I don't know what she does in that capacity. But if she's helping people with their chemotherapy, they're probably like, can you please shut up? Please stop talking.
Oh my. I've done chemo before,
Yeah,
and the nurses there are so calm and relaxing.
that's because that's what they're supposed to be.
I could not imagine doing chemo and had to deal with that. I would say, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just figure it out on my own. Like, not doing
I
it.
can't. I don't want to talk to you about the aliens and the pyramids and the ants and the ghosts.
No,
No.
I
Mm-mm.
want you to leave me the fuck alone. Because I mean, can you imagine you're going through something so scary, and then you have to
Yeah.
deal with this nut job?
She's like,
No.
listen, don't worry about it because the ants and the aliens, they got you, girl. So she's like, I'm quirky, I'm crazy. And then she goes, oh my God, I just want to keep talking to you. And he goes,
I'm sure he's like
okay.
counting down the moments to, gotta go. Gotta go. That's our time.
And he's like, save that energy for me for next time. So he's like, you're crazy.
He's never going to see her again.
All right. In the men's quarters, the guys chat. They're funny. They're all broing out. And in the women's quarter, Brittany is saying,
Mm.
everyone is so beautiful and so nice. There's no
Mm.
divas. And Molly goes, oh my God, when we're done with this, we all have to go and chat and spill the tea that nobody's telling everybody right now, which is true. But go away, Molly. All right, now we go Molly and Dave in the pods, and she asks him if he snores. And he goes, yeah, but I don't want you to smack me. And she goes, no, I just put a pillow over your head. And he goes, I like to hold pillows, and I'm like a baby about scary movies. And she goes, yeah, especially if it's like about an exorcism. One time I had a priest that was a teacher that talked about an exorcism he performed. He's like, oh my God. And
I
then
believe that.
he says, you sound just like my girlfriend from high school by your voice. So I can always tell your voice specifically.
Uh-huh.
Then he says, so I told some of the girls I had OnlyFans and they believed me. She was like, oh, that's funny. And he goes, so yeah, let's talk about sex. That is he completely planned, I'm going to say OnlyFans, to see if I could get a girl to talk with me about sex.
Like you would think he would wait until like he's narrowed it down to like the two
Yeah.
that he wants to be with and then talk
Mm-hmm.
about sex. But
Mm-hmm.
everyone's new here. We're all new. We're new.
Also, by the way, he's into something weird because look, everybody's kink is their kink. I don't care. But he's into
Mhm.
something weird that he's trying to bring into this conversation.
Well, I think he found the right person because I
I
think
do
she's
too.
into some weird shit too. She's
So he says, your thoughts on sex? And she goes, well, sex is important. And, I like to ask a lot of questions. Like, I want to be good at what I'm doing. And he
hmm
goes, what kind of kisser are you? Are you like aggressive or laid back? And she goes, I don't know. It just depends on where we're going with the situation. Right.
which is
And
normal.
which is a normal thing.
Yeah.
And he goes, so you like it like when a man takes charge? And she says, well, at first, I guess, but it's good to alternate, like once you learn about somebody. And he goes, so, also in the bedroom, is there anything like a guy is into? And you're like, okay, weirdo. And she
Oh
goes,
my God.
see, he's into something like, will you
He,
pee on me or something?
he's got that Catholic school thing. He wants to hang her upside down from a cross with a gag ball in her mouth. He's got some things planned out. Like he is on some bullshit. He really is.
You could tell there was something he wanted to ask, but he couldn't quite. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, and she goes, no, not really. I mean, I'll try anything once, I guess. He goes, okay, yeah, me too. And I'm trainable. I'm trainable.
Oh
And
boy.
and then he goes, oh, Molly, you're kind of killing me over here. And they like each other, but I don't know if he's going to like those bangs in person. That's what he's so into looks. I don't know if in person he's going to be like, we've got to get you to a stylist right away. Because also her style is very
Oh God.
frumpy.
Oh, that green dress and those black shoes. I
Black
was
shoes.
gagging. I'm like, what are you think? And it didn't fit her like well. I'm like, what
No,
is she? But she was walking around there like she was hot shit.
I know. She had on
Girl.
like a very frumpy look. All
Yes.
right. Now we get Lauren. Remember, Lauren is the one that
Mm-hmm.
sells the social studies. So Lauren goes
Mm-hmm.
to meet Dave. And she goes, did I tell you my dad's name is also Dave? He's like, no, wait, what? She goes, yeah. And you kind of remind me of your dad. And then they talk about like why it happens sometimes that people marry somebody that's like their dad or whatever. And she goes, because you learn about love from your parents. And so then that's what you emulate.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, wow, I never thought about that.
He's
And
gonna use that on his next date. He's
totally.
gonna use that line. Yeah.
So he says, they're like, what was your relationship with your parents, basically? And he goes, my
Mm-hmm.
parents always made sure I didn't make dumb decisions or hang out with the wrong crowd. And yeah, I've got one older sister and she's cool and fun and motherly or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And he goes, but there is a benefit of an older sister because, like I always put the seat down when I pee because of that. She's like, that's right. You learned. That's good. That's good. Lauren says she has 3 brothers. She has one older and 2 younger. And he goes, yeah, my sister wasn't thrilled that I was coming on here. And she goes, oh, really? What was her thoughts? He goes, she's just like, I don't think any other girls are going to be good enough for you, which is a nice older sister. But I mean, has she talked to him?
Yeah. Have you ever met your brother? Like,
Because
uh-uh.
yeah. Also, I hope your sister's hot because can't talk to her otherwise.
No shit.
And he says, and I told her, like, I mean, if it's a huge mistake, it's a huge mistake, and it might be, but whatever. And she goes, what would I need to do to impress your sister? And he goes, oh, probably just forcing us to hang out more. Like she would like it if I had like a girlfriend and then we would hang out more.
Hang out.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And she goes, where does she live? Oh, she lives in Lakeville. Oh, it's a long, boring drive. And she goes, what do? You listen to podcasts? And he goes, sometimes I do, but I'm also like in a book club with my friends. So like I listen to a book. And he goes, sometimes my friends accuse me of not reading the book. I can read, but I can't comprehend it very well. Like he may have dyslexia or something.
Yeah, it may be.
And she goes, well, as a former sixth grade reading comprehension teacher, we can work on some comprehension strategies. I can help you. And he goes,
That
oh
was
my,
pretty funny.
that was funny. He goes,
That
oh,
was
that's
really
funny.
funny. Yeah.
So he goes, oh, Lauren, I don't think you have a bad bone in your body. So here's what he's thinking. This is the good girl. and Molly is the bad girl.
Yep.
That's what he's
Exactly.
thinking. He's
Yep.
going to have to ask Lauren if she's okay with his kinky side, right?
Yeah, but he knows not. It's too soon to ask her.
He could tell. Yeah, Molly was open. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Daniel, our short king, goes to chat with Taylor. Taylor has lost her voice. Remember, Taylor is the colonoscopy nurse, and I was trying to decide if she's short, and I think she is. I think she's short, and she's short enough for Daniel. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
She's lost her voice, and she's like, "Oh my God, I feel fine. I've lost my voice. It sucks." Which, by the way, will be me in about 5 days when we're doing
yes. Please start drinking elderberry, taking those little, what are the things, the little packs? Yeah.
I've been doing those immunity gummies already, Keisha.
Yes. Okay, good.
I'm still on an antibiotic from a sinus infection, so let's just pray it gets me through.
Yes.
So they both say that they wrote in their journals about each other. And they're like, oh, are we even supposed to say that? Like, I don't know. And he says, when I think about how I imagine my wife, like a lot of stuff that you're saying is it. And Taylor says, I think about how you word things because he said, I'm right there with you. Whenever she would say, I'm right there with you, instead of going like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
She says, I like the way you word things and I love how you feel about your family. And you were saying also another thing that she liked, he said, was the mother of my kids. She goes, I wrote that down, the mother of my kids. I think it's really nice the way you phrase things.
Yeah, that's way better than saying my baby mama.
Can you imagine if somebody said that?
I wouldn't put it past someone. I really wouldn't. I just wouldn't.
That is funny. And they both say, oh, we just want to go through the wall and yet so hard, And she says, I feel very at home talking to you. And he goes, yep, a lot of thoughts. And they talk about having family and their own families being a big deal. I was like, well, it sounds like your family kicked you out. So I don't know about those people. And he goes, I told you about the Christmas cards, right? She goes, no. So he says every year he sends out a Christmas card and he tries to one up it every year and make it funnier. And he goes, and I just want to like make a dumb card and keep that tradition going with my wife and kids. Like, are you willing to dress up like Mrs. Claus? And she's like, oh my gosh, that's funny. She likes that. So that's cute. She says Christmas is her favorite holiday. She goes, I put up 4 trees in my 1-bedroom apartment. Okay. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, she most definitely loves Christmas.
Yeah. And so they're both like, okay, so this is going well. And she goes, I'm a big overthinker. And, but I haven't felt like that too much with you. And he goes, just ask me anything if you need clarity. Like, I always want to be like open, just ask me anything. And she says, I just want to feel secure. And I want my partner to also feel secure. And I'm like, this could be a match. I think this could be a match.
I think I like them together. I feel like I'm rooting for him because high school was so horrible for him.
I'm so upset about it. So upset about it.
I know. Yeah. So I hope this works out.
Yeah. So Brittany talks to Devin again, and she talks about how they can cook, and they talk about, who makes the best mac and cheese, even though she seems like she's got some sort of cheese allergy.
Yeah. I was thinking like IBS.
Yeah, me too. So cheese goes right through you. Now, Virginia and Devin seem to be doing silent disco.
Yeah.
With the headphones on. But also she's painting and he's twirling a hula hoop.
Yeah, they were all over the place.
That's too much.
Yeah.
One thing at a time. She says when she was in 2nd grade, she was in a group called Future Destiny's Child.
That is so funny.
He goes, all right, you can sing. And she goes, no. Remember, I'm a dancer, not a singer. In the men's quarters, they do a Joey impression.
That was funny.
They're talking about how he has such a Midwestern accent. Oh, he has such a Midwestern accent. They all love him. And like we say, if everybody loves you in the pods, I mean, in the quarters,
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a good person. Yeah.
Because remember, they all hated that one guy on UK and that one guy that was like the liar. What was his name? Can't remember now what his name was. Ooh.
I don't
It'll come to us. Sam.
Oh, yes.
Sam.
Yes.
All right. Joey, the dogs are barking. I'm sorry if you can hear it, guys. I'm here.
I didn't know if it was yours or mine.
It's mine. I'm a single dog mom for the next couple of days.
Gotcha.
So Joey meets with Monica. I've got okay. Joey is the golden retriever, and
Mm-hmm.
Monica is the one that bugs you, who's into swing
And
dancing.
she's
Okay.
a golden retriever as well.
So
We
Joey
just
meets with
don't call them
Monica.
two dogs.
You got the dog in you.
The dogs.
I hope that's Anna coming to the door, so they'll stop barking. But I don't know the answer because I don't have my phone on. Um, all right. So Joey meets with Monica and they talk about The Sound of Music and how that is both of their family's movies. Now, Joey says because he had the sister that passed away, she had cerebral palsy. He had to go stay at his grandmother's a lot when they were taking the sister to appointments.
Wait, did
And
she die?
yeah, remember? Because he said he had a sister that died, but he wasn't going to delve into it.
I didn't know you could die of cerebral palsy.
Well, she could have died of something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me just look. Joey had a sister that died. Yeah. So they talk about The Sound of Music. He was always at his various grandmother's house because
Mm-hmm.
the sister was sick. And so he was taken to his grandmother's. And he goes, oh my God, I have that movie memorized. I'm so sick of it. And they do some of the lines from it. It's funny. And he goes, oh my God, I grew up with only sisters and I had to wear the most ridiculous clothing. I was homeschooled. And then I went to a regular school and everybody made fun of me. I knew nothing. I didn't know anything. I would wear these ridiculous outfits. But football is what saved me because I was able to prove to the guys that I was good at something. So they respected me. When he was 18, he got a lot of D1 offers for college.
He must have been really good.
Really good. And he could have, gotten on scholarship for schooling. But he declined them because he didn't want to leave his younger sister. His parents were divorced and he chose to stay and help his mom and his sister.
Yeah. I like that.
And he says, and you'll get it. Once you meet my mom, you'll get it. He said, she's very nice. She's terrible with money. And I remember he had a sister that was disabled. He said, and he goes, so when you meet my mom, you would understand why I felt like I had to stay home to take care of, go to college locally. And he said, so she goes, well, how are you with money? He goes, I'm great with money. I've learned my lessons. He said, I started a retirement account for my mother and I bought a property when I was 26 to give to my mother because I knew one day she wouldn't be able to afford to have a house.
Yeah. Wow. I like that.
He's a good guy.
If he's telling the truth. Everything is going to be if they're telling the truth.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm believing everybody.
I am jaded from last season.
I know you are. You are. And now we see David. So David says he's conflicted because he's got 2 dates to go on. So he's got Lauren and Molly. Okay. Lauren, the teacher vibe, and then Molly, the sex kitten vibe. So David and Lauren talk and she says, what are your non-negotiables? And he goes, I don't know. And she says, mine would be, you're going to
I think
have to be a size 4.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's start there.
And a face card better be calling because if not, no.
Yep.
And she says, mine would be if somebody didn't fit in with my family. And that's pretty good. That's a good one. And he goes, oh, I'm great. I'm great with parents, sisters, nieces, nephews, grandparents. I'm good. This is because you're like Eddie Haskell. It's not genuine. It's not genuine. He
was on Leave It to Beaver, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Mrs. Cleaver. It's so lovely to see you today. You look so beautiful today. Yes. Oh, these are the best cookies. We have John has a friend like that.
Oh, okay.
He comes over. Here comes Eddie Haskell. He's like, oh, Mrs. Gilbert, how are that Ole Miss doing in basketball? Seems like you guys are having a good season. Like, I don't fucking know how we're doing in basketball. Oh, my favorite football team has always been the University of Oklahoma, Mr. Gilbert. Get out of here. Get out of here. He's always been that. We're like, here comes Eddie Haskell. So, all right. So that would be if somebody didn't fit with family. He says he's great with family. And she goes, when I picture family, I picture everybody just kind of being in our lake house. That's kind of a big thing in Minnesota, to have a lake house. It's the land of 1,000 lakes or whatever. And he says, oh, his family also has a lake house. They get lake house vibes. And he goes, when you go on vacation, what do you like to do? And she goes, oh, I just like to sit by the pool and relax. One time my friends and I went on this trip to Mexico. We had some pool days. We did some cool stuff. It was just so casual. One day we went to town and got matching tattoos. And he goes, oh, what did it say? And she goes, FTP, fuck the patriarchy. Now, We got Lauren, who's fucked the
Uh-huh.
patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Joe Rogan girl, which is the opposite of that. But
Mm-hmm.
he's
Yep.
not into her. He's into Molly. So he goes, "Oh, really?" So he gets all excited about that. He goes, "Oh, now we
He
can
was
ask her
hoping it
about
was on
sex."
her boob.
And he goes, "Oh, you got a little party girl in you, huh? Oh, I didn't think
Mm-hmm.
that. All right."
I
And she
still
goes,
didn't get party girl vibes from anything that she said.
he goes, "You sound so cute and innocent." So, woo, tattoo on the wrist. Fuck the patriarchy. All right.
Oh my
And
God.
she goes, "Yeah, everybody's like, oh, Lauren is so nice and sweet and such a great Midwestern girl." And I am. I am all those
Mm-hmm.
things. She goes, "But I like to go out with my friends and I got to stand up for myself." So, yeah. Yeah. I was like, "Yeah, go, Lauren, go."
She seems very white claw to me. She does. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
uh, and
Even with the tattoo.
he says he has 3 tattoos. 2 are in his mom's handwriting. One says, like, "I'm proud of you." One says, "I love you," or whatever. And the other one is on his thigh. It's his family home address, which I think is just the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the house they grew up in that he lived in.
Right.
And he said his dad sold the house 2 years ago. And she goes, "Where does your mom live?"
Because he hadn't told her. Oh
He
my
hadn't told
God.
her. And he says, "Oh,
Yeah.
so my mom died." And she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he goes, "Yeah, it was really hard to go back to that house. It's the place where I watched my mother die." And
Right.
he says, "I never went back to the house to say goodbye when my dad sold it. And I feel bad about
Mm.
that." And she goes, "Well, there's no right way to grieve something like that. So you just did what was right for you at the time." And he goes, "You have not been at the bottom of my list. I mean, you've been up there." And she's like, "Okay."
Oh boy, he's such a jerk. Even when
And
he's trying to be sweet, he's a
yeah.
jerk.
And he goes, "But you're going up higher on my list on this conversation. I definitely want to spend more time with you." And he goes, "It's getting weird. The whole experience is getting weird." And she agrees. And he goes, "I'm just so overwhelmed with all this. It's like in the movies, like when you see, love happening or whatever." And literally at this exact moment, and you've probably seen the TikToks that make fun of this, that the songs they play on Love is Blind,
Mm-hmm.
because he goes, "It's like, God, it's like being in the movies." And literally a song goes, "It's like being in a movie." Like, you
Mm-hmm.
guys, please notice it. Whenever they say a line on this show, immediately somebody
Mm-hmm.
sings a song that's literally about the line they just said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
It's true.
so funny. So he goes, "Hey, I got to tell you something. If we get married, we should get matching tattoos." And she goes, "I'm into it. I'm into it." And he goes, "I have a date after this," which is Molly.
Right.
And he goes, "Can I cancel and just stay in here and talk to you?" And she goes, "Okay, have a good night's sleep. Cancel your next date. Okay, bye-bye."
And he totally was never going to cancel the next date.
All right. Now, Dave meets with Molly. He asks her about her tattoos. She
Yep.
says she has a rose and a shamrock and a Gaelic tattoo. Are you getting it? I'm Irish. My name
Yeah,
is
I think we
Molly.
got it. And I've got red hair. We get it.
Molly,
And you had on a green
shamrock,
dress. We
Gaelic.
got it.
We got it.
Yes.
You're Irish. I think he's
Yes.
trying to she wants him to get it. Um, and then she says she has a tattoo on her ass. And he goes, "Where?" And she goes, "On my ass? I mean, you probably haven't
Well,
seen a
at
lot, whatever."
first, hold on. So she goes, I have an Aztec. So
Yeah.
maybe he thought she meant Aztec.
Aztec, like Aztec instead of
Yes.
Aztec.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. That's I think because at first I was like, huh? So I think that's why he was a little confused.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't get that. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I could be completely wrong. Won't
So
be the
they
first or
laugh.
the last time.
They laugh about him not seeing a lot of asses. I don't know. And he tells her he likes her a lot from the beginning. And he's like, "Oh, Molly." So he likes her.
Same shit that he just told the other girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the women's quarters, Molly is telling Madison that she's talking to Dave. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like, and I get in my head about the fact that he's talking to other people. And Madison goes, "I haven't heard anybody talking about him at all." And Molly says, "I think he's talking to Sarah." Sarah is an oncology
Mm.
nurse that we haven't met yet.
So
And
there's two oncology nurses.
uh-huh. And a
Okay.
colonoscopy nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
3
Go
nurses.
nurses.
Um, and so she goes, "I think it's Sarah." And so Lauren comes and sits down
Mm-hmm.
and goes, "Yeah, how was it? How was your date?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's been very validating, but it's kind of confusing because it's hard to think like they go on another date and whatever. And Madison
Right.
goes, yeah, but you can't let his other connections get in the way because that'll fuck you over. And
True.
then Madison goes, who is it? And Lauren goes, oh, I don't know. I don't think I want to say right now. And Molly goes, listen, I think everybody knows who I'm seeing. So I'm just letting everybody knows who it is. I don't care. And Lauren goes, well, wait, I don't know. And
Yeah.
Molly goes, Dave. And
Mhm.
she goes, wait, what? So if you don't care if anybody cares, then why are you whispering it? Number one.
Right.
And
Exactly.
Molly leans over and goes, Dave. And Lauren's like, Dave, got it. Got it.
Uh-huh.
And then
Yep.
Molly goes, I have a husband.
Oh,
And
this is
Lauren's
why
little,
she sucks.
uh-huh. And Lauren's face is
Mm-hmm.
like, ah, fuck. So
Because
now
she just got out
Lauren,
of off this date with him,
uh-huh.
and he's basically saying, "You're the one," in so many
So,
words.
but here's the thing. What happens is when they talk in the corner, so now Lauren has this information. Molly doesn't have it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But by the way, Molly would not see Lauren as competition because they can see
Not at
each
all.
other.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Because
Yep. I
and Molly
think
would
she
be
would
like,
be like,
oh,
eh. Yeah.
but you
Mm-hmm.
can't see them.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Very, very interesting. So that's the end of
Yes.
episode 1. That's the end of it.
Okay.
And here's my promise to you. By the time we record the next episode, I'm gonna have pictures of these people so that I can flash them up on the screen because it is
Okay.
easier when we can see them.
Yeah, I agree.
Episode 1 would have been the time to have it, but it was busy for me yesterday. And now
Yeah.
I've got the wrong shirt and I gotta go out to Target and buy 3 more. Yeah. If you go to Target and I go to Target, we're gonna come away with the same shirts.
I'm all about twinning. All about twinning.
Twinning.
I have no
Okay.
problem with doing that at all. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got to go do some errands, so I am going to go look for just a couple more, but I will be rotating and I'm going to send that first one back because, I love an Amazon return more than anybody on the planet.
And we need 6 of these, right?
No, I say 3 and rotate, but you do what you're going to do because 6
The
episodes come
pressure.
out on Valentine's Day.
The pressure. The pressure of it all.
Yeah. Listen, do what you want.
Okay.
Wear a pink shirt, wear a red
I'll
shirt,
figure it
and
out.
put on if I had like a little hat that I could put on that had like little danglies on it that were
I
hearts, I
did
would wear
think
that.
about the I thought
But
about doing that.
you see me looking around my desk to see if I've got
Because it's
anything.
probably in there somewhere.
Probably I have something that is a heart. Although, I cleaned my office and when the girl came to clean it, she's like, what are we going to do with all these props? So she had me
You need
hang them up
those.
over here. They're not close enough to me.
Oh, dang. And I love it when you just reach over and you pull
I know.
something.
But look where they are. Look, they're way over there now.
Oh, yeah, you can't reach that. No.
I can't reach. Yeah.
No, that sucks. Oh, man.
Everybody, that's it. Love is Blind, season 8, episode 1. I Have a Husband. We will be back with you in this same feed. You guys, if you're listening here, you've already got all 6 episodes because that's how we do it. We drop all 6 at once. And next week we'll be back with, I think there's 4. And then I think they do 2. And then they do the finale. And then we have to do, of course, the reunion, which they don't give us screeners for. We have to watch like everybody else.
Okay, so when you said I have a husband, I'm like, Mary Payne, we know about Dave. I forgot the name of the episode.
That's
I was
the
like, why
episode,
does
everybody.
she? It's like, why does she?
I want
Like,
everybody to know
know.
I'm taken. Don't try to get with this, okay?
Yeah, I was like, why is she making this special announcement? Like, do I need to say it too? Like, do I need to say I have a husband? Is that what we're doing now? Like,
At the end of every
reminding the
episode,
audience?
we're going to declare it. We're going to declare it so
Yeah.
nobody tries to get us. Yeah.
It took me about 5 to 6 seconds to realize. I'm like, oh, that's the name of the goddamn episode. I was just like, it was like a Britney from Salt Lake moment. Like, I have an announcement. Like, and I'm
Okay,
like,
yeah, you can't see it, but here's my computer. I'm facing this way, and right behind it, I hung on the wall. I got a frame for it and hung on the wall the Margaret Joseph. Your husband's in the pool.
me and my
That you
husband.
made me.
Whenever she's like, who threw my husband in the pool? Me and my husband.
Right there. Right there. It's right there next to my Armando painting that says Bunky Mary Payne on it that Armando did for me of Armando and Kenny.
Oh, that's cool.
A listener got that for me. Linda, shout out Linda. Okay, everybody, that's the end. And here's the outro. I'm going to shorten the intro for tomorrow, but here's the outro. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.